Welcome to Seventh-day Adventist Church. Welcome to Seventh-day Adventist Church. This is a very urgent message against independent Adams Part 2. A firm stance against independent Adams Part 2. This is taken from Selected Messages Book 2. Selected Messages Book 2. The chapter called The Divine Credentials. The first section, Dear Brother M. The Lord has not given you a message to call the Seventh-day Adventist Babylon and to call the people of God to come out of her. All the reasons you may present cannot have weight with me on this subject, because the Lord has given me decided light that is opposed to such a message. I do not doubt your sincerity or honesty. I have written long letters at different times to those who are accusing the Church of Seventh-day Adventists of being Babylon, that they were not handling the truth. You think individuals have prejudiced my mind. If I'm in this state, I am not fitted to be entrusted with the work of God. But this matter has been brought before my mind in order in other cases where individuals have claimed to have messages for the Seventh-day Adventist Church of similar character, and the word has been given me, believe them not. Elder K is a dying man Elder K was addressing this in this message as well, beloved sisters in the Adventist Church. Also, there's a section called The Church Not to be Broken Up in the same council. Again, I say the Lord has not spoken by any messenger who calls a church that keeps the commandments of God Babylon. True, there are tares with the wheat, but Christ said He would send His angels to first gather the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather in the wheat into the garner. I know that the Lord loves His church. It is not to be disorganized or broken up into independent atoms. There is not the least consistency in this. There is not this evidence that such a thing should be or will be. Those who shall heed the false message and try to leaven others will be deceived and prepared to receive advanced delusions, and they will come to naught. There is in some of the members of the church pride, self-sufficiency, stubborn unbelief, and refusing to yield their ideas. Although evidence may be piled upon evidence which makes the message to the Laodicean church applicable, but that will not blot out the church, that it will not exist. Let both tares and wheat go together into the harvest. Then is the angels that do the work of separation. I warn the Seventh-day Adventist church to be careful how you receive every new notion, and those who claim to have a great light, the character of their work seems to be to accuse and to tear down. My brother, I would say to you, be careful. Go not one step farther in the path you have entered upon. Walk in the light while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. You complain of being treated coldly in Battle Creek. Let me put it for you. You can train of being treated coldly in Huntsville, Alabama, at Oakwood University, in the regular line ministries. Did you go with a humble spirit to those who are spiritual and say, will you examine the scriptures with me? Shall we pray over the matter? I have not the light I wanted. That they will not give you all that confidence you might think they should. After the experience they have passed through, should not the words of Christ have any weight? Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, inwardly they are ravening wolves. Lo here and lo there is Christ, will be multiplied. Let the believers heed the voice of the angel who has said to the church, press together, in unity is your strength. Love as brethren, be pitiful, Be courteous. God hath the church and Christ hath declared, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. The messengers of the Lord sends bear the divine credentials. I have tender feelings toward you, but come to the light, I beseech of you. Now, beloved in the Adventist Church, the independent Adam churches in this city, like Dime Tabernacle, Remnant Mission, here in the city of Huntsville, Three Angels Mission outside the conference, all these independent churches that are outside the conference because they're disgruntled with the way they say conference officials have treated them in the past when they work for the conference. They're doing the very nefarious work. Ministries like Andrew Henriquez's ministry, Save to Serve. The 2520 Brethren over in the Mission. The 2520 House Churches, beloved. All these independent Adam churches, beloved, are doing a very nefarious work, beloved. They know they're wrong. They know they are wrong. You ask them, you still go to that 2520 House Church, they get afraid. You ask them, they still go to the independent church called Daystar, Daystar Ministries up in off of US Highway 53. They get afraid, beloved. They know they're doing a very nefarious work. They're criticizing those within the conference. They're stealing tithe from the conference. They're taking tithe to themselves and saying, well, Sister White, she gave her tithe to colored ministers down south. She gave her tithe to colored ministers down south when the ministry was not organized down south for black ministers back in the day. So why can't we take our tithe and give it to the self-supporting worker churches? Beloved, Sister White condemns them as independent Adams. She condemns them as offshoots. She condemns them as people that are not doing God's will. We need to have self-supporting ministries, supportive of the conference ministries. And even if the conference is persecuting us, we still need to bring souls in the conference churches that are preaching the unadulterated truth. If you feel that a local church has become apostate, playing wild music, teaching new theology, teaching women's ordination, take them to a church where they're against women's ordination, where they're against Sunday service, where they're against new theology, where they preach victory over sin, where they're against dancing in church, where they believe in the truth about the nature of Christ. That's the church in this area called State Line 7 Adventist Church in Auburn, Alabama, off of US Highway 53 with Dr. Isaac Olatunji. That's a church like that. That's a present truth conference church that's staying faithful to God in these last days, beloved. Stay with a church like that. Bring members into a church like that, beloved, in your local area. But do not leave the conference and start your own self-supporting ministry. Self-supporting church. So you can start a self-supporting ministry, not a self-supporting church, beloved, in the Adventist church. Sister Wire says that the wheat and tares go together unto the harvest, beloved. The wheat and tares must go together unto the harvest, beloved. And just because Sister White took her tithe money and other sisters that she approved back in her day to support the color work down south does not mean we have the authority to take our tithe money and support independent churches, beloved. We need to support the conference with our tithe and offering, beloved. And we can support self-supporting ministries with our money after you already support the conference with our money, like Amazing Facts or Quiet Hour or Voice of Prophecy. But we should not be supporting independent churches outside the conference. And it's not right, beloved. They're in apostasy. They're going to be lost, beloved, doing those things. They will be lost, beloved, doing those things. And I'm going to sigh and cry and cry aloud until Israel sins. I'm not going to be afraid, even if I get mistreated by these brethren who I'm preaching about. Even if they want to cut me off, I'm still going to tell you the truth, beloved, in the Adventist church. And the shepherd rods, they're another hoax. Teaching this Christ will walk the earth before the second coming and things like of such. That's an apostasy. That's a deception. Satan's going to walk this earth before the second coming and claim to be that he's Christ. So they're going to be deceived by Satan's impersonation of Christ in these last days. And that's another hoax. So, beloved, stay faithful to God in these last days. Stay true. Do not be deceived. Maranatha, beloved. God is coming soon.